Why, hello there, everyone. Here I am, Jay with the Tower Nook, and I am currently pulling cards for your week of the 15th through the 22nd. All right. Let's see exactly what lies in store. Overall, today I've just been continuously seeing like comic books, like those like big bubbles that says pow, punch, kick, yeah, stuff like that. I've just been seeing wow, four exclamation marks, yeah, with five exclamation marks. It's the kind of situation overall, energetically wise, we are stepping into a week of magic. I have such a feeling that ultimately this entire week is going to be a week where a lot of the beginnings that ultimately like really took liftoff last week, we're going to start seeing the effects of exactly what is in, like I'm seeing like like small little like vehicles that ultimately just said go last week. We're going to see exactly where things are going now that we've taken off from the 15th to the 22nd. All right, so let's see exactly what else lies in store. By the way, the crystal of the week is garnet. Garnet is a beautiful reddish dark crystal um that represents your root chakra, full of nothing but grounding and stability. It is a crystal that the sailors and travelers back in the good old days searching for treasure used to use to eliminate nightmares, any kind of blocks. So overall, garnet is a very powerful crystal. It's also known as the crystal for commitment. Ultimately, if you're looking to commit to any specific idea, either that be going back to school, looking for a new job, committing to a relationship, whatever the case may be, garnet is a beautiful, beautiful crystal to nurture those commitments. So garnet is the crystal of the week. All right, let's see what the tarot cards have to say. We got the Eight of Pentacles, we got the Two of Wands, and the Ten of. So we have been on a trip, and this trip has been quite the trip. It's been exhausting. We felt as if we were listening to our intuition, but it was a continuous needing to listen to our intuition. It's just been a journey. It's been a journey. And Spirit is ultimately saying we have reached the completion of a journey because the Ten of Wands, after the Ten of Wands, comes the court cards, comes the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is learning how to work with this newfound intuition, this newfound activity, right? The Ten of Wands is the completion of a cycle in regards to, you know, really going on that journey and learning how to work with your intuition, learning how to work with, that drive. Um, Wands represent the element fire. Fire is all about pushing forward, drive, passion, all of it, right? We have the Eight of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. We have mastered our self worth on this journey. And now that we've mastered our self worth, we're starting to see the direction that we're looking to go in. It's like all of a sudden we're opening our eyes because we had to go through what we had to go through to see exactly where we're looking to go. The High Priestess along with the Five of Cups and the King of Swords, it's like I feel as if something happened where ultimately, like, like we just got very, very sad. It's almost kind of like, concentrating on the good times as opposed to, acknowledging the Two of Cups behind. And that Two of Cups is all about partnership, all about, most of the time, it's all about romance, love, commitments, engagements, really like, a journey towards, like just like that completion. But the Five of Cups is concentrating on the Three of Cups spill, and the Three of Cups is all about good times and celebrations, blah, blah, blah. It's like ultimately concentrating on thinking the cup is half empty when it really is half full. It's the high priestess is there. All right. And the high priestess, and by the way, Five of Cups, five is the number of change. So that is that change set in motion. Okay. Now the high priestess is run by the moon. The moon is all about healing, all about psychic abilities, seeing what the truth is, Um, ultimate feminine. All right. It's a kind of situation. The high priestess is the card of a spiritual awakening. All right. Having ultimately done the shadow work and having that spiritual awakening. Okay. Like from the sadness, from the pain, we've been able to like be reborn spiritually. And with the King of Swords is the king that's on the top of his castle above the clouds, wiser than ever, intuitive than ever. You know, it's the kind of situation, nothing but ambition. The King of Swords has been through the heartbreaks. The King of Swords has been through the tough things he said to himself, and he's on top of this castle, commanding in the kind of energy that will bring him happy and healthy thoughts. Overall, the King of Swords is all about ambition, rising above that overthinking. So it's a kind of situation so far, like this has been a journey, and this journey has come to a completion where we know our worth. We know exactly what we're looking to do. And because we know exactly what we're looking to do, we are ultimately doing the shadow work that's been needed to overcome the sadness from our past to bring on a brighter, more beautiful future in regards to knowing exactly what we want and what we deserve, you know? The magician, and there's the moon and the Four of Swords. I feel as if we've done some deep healing and spirit is ultimately saying we are manifesting. You just take it easy. Take it easy. You know, overall, the magician is all about manifesting, you know, using all the elements, air, water, fire, and earth. Your intellect, your drive, your emotions, your stability, you know, using all of the elements and ultimately putting it at the disposal to manifest magically exactly what you are calling in, you know. And with the moon is all about healing, you know. So with the moon and the high priestess, the moon is also psychic abilities. There's definitely a psychic awakening happening this week. All right. This week we have manifested a spiritual awakening. All right. And Spirit wants you to ultimately remember, you know, while all this is happening, because this is energy that is like really life changing. Don't forget to, you know, like take time out, you know, like we found our wheel of fortune. This is exactly where we're meant to be. This is a rebirth. It's like overall, you know, like we're being reborn, a more intuitive, spiritual person with a new gift that's coming forward. All right. The wheel of fortune is that wheel that ultimately represents good fortune, that ultimately we are on the path that we're meant to be on. With the Two of Pentacles, that is, you know, the world going crazy all around us and ourselves being able to find the stability within. It's a kind of situation overall. Know what's coming forward. The Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is ultimate emotional fulfillment, a happily ever after full of love, romantic love. And they lived happily ever after, you know, like ultimate emotional fulfillment with children, with creativity, with like everything that is ultimately, you know, in this ultimate emotional fulfillment. All right. We are stepping out of this week into next week an enlightened person where we are seeing that we have to let go of the tight grip on the things that once upon a time worked for us. Like, you know, it's a kind of situation overall. We have grown, we have moved forward, we have come to the completion of a cycle where we're seeing where we're going. Spirit is ultimately saying, having healed from our past and healing from our past, we are wiser than ever, ready to manifest exactly what we need to manifest. And that is emotional fulfillment. That is spiritual awakenings. And that is nothing but good fortune. This is a rebirth, my friends. And this rebirth is full of nothing but new ways of thinking, being able to set yourself free from the just like, you know, like overthinking that's been holding you down. And there's the Ace of Cups, and there's the Lovers. The Ace of Cups is ultimate emotional fulfillment, the Cup of Love, and the Lovers is the card of a beautiful, epic love story, right? Also, the Lovers is all about the choices that you make in regards to love. So, overall, I feel as if when it comes down to it, my friends, like this is going to be a beautiful week because we know exactly what we need to do to level up, to continuously move forward on this pathway that we call life. All right. It is going to be a brilliant, brilliant week. Brilliant week. All right. Full of nothing but new gifts and emotional fulfillment. All right. Very powerful. Let's go ahead. We're going to pull some cards from the Wisdom of Avalon deck. All right. Let's see exactly what's in store. Spirit, in regards to the deck, what do we need to know for our greatest good? We have the Wind Fairy, thoughts, words, intellectual analysis, the frog, cleaning house, emotional baggage, and the serpent, knowledge and healing. See exactly what I said. It's like we're cleaning house. We're ultimately releasing the emotional baggage that has been holding us back. All right. It's like with the new knowledge we've received and the healing that we've ultimately acquired, we are processing our thoughts and intellectual analysis in a completely different way. It's like we're ultimately stepping out of that confusion and stepping into clarity. There is movement happening, and that movement, what is that movement doing? Letting go of the burdens to bring in nothing but beauty. All right, it's like we're moving past the energy that has ultimately, like burdened us, and I feel as if this movement was kickstarted with something that ultimately kickstarted. Whatever that thing is for you, like whatever ultimately caused this movement to ultimately take off, to have you step out of these burdens, out of that kind of energy, like it jump started something big. And what is that? Like the butterfly, beauty. The novice or the novice, I can never say that word. It's all about like, not knowing exactly what to do, but letting go of the fear and allowing yourself to take creative action. Be optimistic, you know? It's like, our like a way of thinking and like when it comes to the way we were processing information was completely disrupted. It was completely disrupted. We understood that when it comes down to it, we need to be loyal and unconditional, with unconditional love towards ourselves. The high priestess, there's the high priestess. We got that in the main tarot spread, right? Spiritual awakening, the lady of the lake, self respect, responsibility, living your absolute truth, taking creative action and understanding with the king that we have found the balance needed to bring in a new version of us, the birth and rebirth card. This is a brand new version with the cat at the bottom of the deck. The cat is all about healthy boundaries. Merlin, it's nothing but justice and alchemy. Love. Love is in the air with power, strength, transformation, letting go of the fear and allowing yourself to ultimately bring in nothing but joy and luck and romance. Okay. And pride and wealth and partnership, like letting go of restrictions and soaking in that mystery of we have no idea what's going to happen, but that's the beauty of life. We're not supposed to know. We're just supposed to allow ourselves to just be free to ultimately take action in the movement that is currently happening in our lives. All right. You're going to see a lot of energy starting to, come forward. All right. Some very powerful, beautiful energy with the Priestess of the Light deck. Let's see what we have here. Spirit. What do we need to know for our greatest good? We're summoning our power. All right. We're setting those boundaries and we are communicating with telepathy, you know, with the angels. All right. It's like a brand new perception, a brand new transmission. All right. With sensuality, with clarity, and with duality. It's like we are seeing, the passion that is coming forward from releasing illusions and ultimately bringing in clarity, seeing that the past has happened for many reasons. There misunderstandings in regards to why the past happened. Everything has happened the way that it's happened in our lives was to ultimately lift us higher to a place that we have been destined to ultimately be in. Seeing that the past has had many meanings. All right. I have had one heck of a past. And I've been through a lot of stuff myself, and I look back and I'm like, if this never happened and that never happened, I would not be who I am today. It's like all of a sudden, it's like we're finding that clarity in the many meanings behind the things that we once upon a time thought was the worst thing to happen to us, ended up being a river of blessings. By releasing these constraints, my friends, we are receiving the power to give and receive healing. Okay? Tenderness, showing ourselves true love and compassion, You know, I feel as if when it comes down to it, with brilliant beliefs that personal power, adjustment, looking back and moving forward, we're calming the waters. Okay, it's in the calming of these waters that we have a silent understanding and a knowledge in regards to exactly who we are. I feel as if the Akashic Records is currently, opening for us. We're really going to be discovering a lot of the truths that ultimately, we have had in lifetimes ago, you know? If you don't know what the Akashic records are, it's records of all of your past lives, all right? Now, with grateful optimism, we're seeing the joyous view of our future, and we're taking sacred action and decisive focus to accept the loving support from the angels to allow this death and rebirth, darkness to light energy come forward. All right, at the bottom of the deck, we have deep emotions, unknown feelings, past life influences. Okay, there's that confirmation in regards to the Akashic records. All right, psychic ability. Yeah, I'm telling you, like it's the kind of situation with prayer. We've opened ourselves to connections and abundance is there with new creations. We're opening our hearts, and it's like we're a phoenix rising, okay? I'm telling you, this is beautiful, beautiful energy because this is energy we fought for. We've we've allowed ourselves to step out of our comfort zone and see there are many meanings in regards to exactly why our lives happen the way they have happened. And that's to ultimately get us to a place where, like we can actually calm the waters and peacefully self-regulate ourselves. It's like the past has happened for a greater purpose. And that purpose, my friends, is to bring us peace, to bring us peace in knowing exactly who we are and what we deserve. All right, let's see an affirmation, spirit, affirmation for our greatest good. We have the more I trust in life, the better things turn out. Okay. The universe is always helping me, sometimes in unexpected ways, right? My intuition is strong and clear. I trust the voice within. Last but not least, every day I'm stronger, braver, and wiser. I live and grow in harmony with the universe. All of these affirmations you can use at your disposal. Affirmations are one of the most important tools you can ever have. All right. I let go of the past. I trust in the future and I accept the present moment. Okay. I love you all. I hope everyone has a great day. I'm going to peace and I will see everyone later. All righty. Bye.